Welcome to Female Voices, Life and Loss, a podcast dedicated to women from all walks of life. Whether you're navigating through loss, seeking growth, or simply looking for a place to feel understood, you've come to the right space. Each week, we provide compassionate guidance, share diverse stories, and offer practical advice to help you heal, grow, and thrive. No matter where you are on your journey, we're here to walk with you. Let's grow together.
So I've always labeled as a chatty Cathy all through school. I got in trouble for talking. Okay. So we talked a little bit about, our marriages dynamics before. And so I know you have a daughter at least, because we talked about fertility and things like that.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 daughters.
Wow.
3 adult daughters.
Bless you.
And I'm a grandma.
Can you believe that? Does she look like a grandma? I don't think so. Wow, girl daughter.
Grandma of 3 as well. So 3 and 3.
Did we get boys in the grandkids?
1 grandson.
1. It's tough out here. Our family was
We like
that,
girls.
though. Yeah, y'all do. Our family was like, no, it's
There's a certain time. There's a certain time in their life where we don't.
We all know that time.
We don't like them. We always love them, but we don't like girls. But then we get past that, and then we love them again.
She's all about the hope and reframing.
There's definitely
I love it. I don't know. My mom wanted all boys. She got 2 girls, Mom. That's what you get. She wanted all boys, and she didn't get any. But I got them because I was like the prissy girl, And I was like, when I found out I was having a boy, I was
the girly girl. She's a girly girl.
It's like, what am I gonna do with a boy? But besides keep him clean and stuff, and they like to be clean.
Can't do that. You can't do that with boys. They don't want to be clean. Most boys. There are some that. My grandson kind of likes to be.
Yeah, they don't like things on their hands.
Yeah,
that
I was gonna say clothes, probably not, but
the hands.
Yeah, that needs to be. He doesn't like that. But girls,
raising 3 girls seems tough.
There were years for sure that it was tough. It was super fun when they were little. And I still address them as the girls. It was always the girls. Everything is the girls. We're going to go with the girls.
I think we do the same thing, though. I'm in a blended family, so it's like the kids, because that means those are my husband's kids, the kids. I don't know. I think I was a good daughter for the most part. My sister, she's still giving my mom some blues. She is still, she's like fierce. She doesn't fear death, but
Yeah.
But I was, a pretty girl. I didn't like to go outside without my hair combed. I didn't want my clothes dirty. They needed to match. They needed to be ironed.
Girly girl.
My mom was like, "What is this? Go outside." And I was like, "No, get up and comb my hair." So my mom was a young mom, bless her spirit. She tried her best, but bless her.
I probably have 1 for sure, girly girl. That's interesting. You raised 3, at least me. You raised 3 children, 3 girls, all in the same home, same parents, same place, and they're all different as far as personalities.
Yes.
And I have a picture. It's pretty comical because when you look at it, you can see their personalities. Like my oldest daughter, her hair is just like perfect. Her dress is perfect. Girly girl. And then the middle, like she's a little more messy looking, just a scrunchy, whatever bun, messy bun. And then in the picture, then my youngest daughter's got, I think she has a ball cap on, so it's like.
You're like, okay.
So, they have their own personalities. They're all different, but super fun.
What I hear, though, is that you guys allowed them to, express their individuality. And so you weren't necessarily putting them in a box. Like, everybody has to be prom and prepper. Like my mom, me and my
Only
sister.
on holidays.
We were 6 years apart, and my mom dressed us like we're twins.
Holidays.
Why? No. This is Sunday.
Oh, I'm
Every Sunday.
I'm talking about myself.
We have matching,
Holidays.
and they don't even do it nowadays because I've never seen kids with like a dress jacket, that you wear to church and stuff.
Mhm.
Me and my sister had those. Everyone we had, they always matched. So the jacket, the dresses matched, all of that. I was like, why am I'm 12. My sister's 6. Why are we dressing up like that?
Interesting.
So that was her thing. She's all on the twinsies type stuff.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because that's why I kept saying holidays. So when my girls were little, until they were like, okay, we're done with this, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell anybody this. I'm a seamstress. Keep that a secret. I'm not repairing anyone's things.
Dang it. I have a list going.
But I can't. I'm just not past that. But I would sew girl dresses for the girls for Easter.
That's so sweet though.
And Christmas. But they were unique. I mean, it's the same pattern that I've used. The dress is the same, but they would always pick out the material.
Oh, okay.
Same style, but different material. So that kept them unique. But they all the dresses were the same, just different colors. Until, gosh, I don't even know how old they were. But it just fun recently. I had them go through those dresses and hold them up. It was hilarious. But yeah,
so
so
amazing.
it's kind of like twins, sort of like you're talking about.
But different colors.
Different colors. Yeah,
I think they could live with that though.
They did live through it.
A unique experience. Like how many, people my age can say their mother sewed, their clothes. No, none of us can say it. My grandma is the only person, like she sewed and she knitted. So she knitted blankets all the time.
Sure.
But I think of my grandma as a woman's woman because she could make any meal from scratch.
Oh,
she had a garden
of that.
So
Super
she
jealous of that.
Yeah, and then she had a garden. We had the plants that heal and the aloe vera and all that kind of stuff. She decorated phenomenally. Could decorate a house. She could decorate herself. She was very fashion oriented. So her pantyhose had to match the shoes that matched the dress. So she's just like this woman's woman, right? And her and my grandfather didn't, they didn't stay together the whole time. But I'm just thinking, man, if you got like a woman's woman, my grandfather had 6 kids. She didn't mind cooking, cleaning. She could decorate a house. She could do this. She could do that. And you still can't make it work. What is this? So that's where my mind goes. So I was like, man, she was like, she would do all the stuff that most guys wanted, the meal ready, take care of the kids, just take care of the house.
My thought is maybe she didn't feel fulfilled herself. She was always caring. We as women, we're always caring for everyone else and we're not always caring for ourselves. And it is important for us to care for ourselves. Okay, I'm bringing it down here a little bit. Sorry about that.
Oh, I love that because it's relevant. And my grandmother was the oldest of like 7 kids too. So she probably had already been in training like most of us oldest siblings.
She was caring for people a very long time.
Yeah.
And got to the point where I'm not caring.
Yeah. And I don't know that it was her choice. I'm going to say that up front.
Okay. All right. We don't.
I do believe my grandfather was the one who made that decision because he's kind of Papa Rolling Stone kind of thing. Hey, and again, I don't want to say any of this is factual because I was a child. So these are just things that I saw. I do hate that we never got to have like a real conversation because I think there's such wisdom that comes from, your grandparent, your aunts, them sharing their journey with you is just such powerful and impactful. So, which leads me to think that she was dealing with some mental illnesses herself because she never talked about how she grew up. She never talked about her parents. She never talked about her siblings. So she had her own story. Now, my father's mom, it's so weird because I wasn't, I remember her throughout my life, but not really knowing her. And so with my paternal family, I always felt like a fish out of water, Until I spent time with my father's side. And I'm like, oh, this is who I act like.
Now you know.
Yeah, OCD. We like stuff in its place. We like our house clean. Say more things like, dang. but just the way she thought about the world too, you know. So my mind kind of resonate with her most of the time. Yeah, mostly. But you know, so I mean, but I gotta say, love the women in my life. You know, whether it's good or bad, they taught me a lot of valuable things.
Absolutely.
And I hate I don't want to sound like I'm a feminist, but you know, the women in my life are like, we don't cry over boys. We don't. They were like dime a dozen. That's how they were. So there's some wisdom. It hurts some, but some there is, you know, kind of don't sweat the small stuff. But the flip side of that is you don't learn to do the work like you and your husband have done.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to stick with it, you know, to learn.
It's really from my parents, you know.
See, powerful.
They were always together, you know, until my dad passed, you know, and now they're together because they've both passed. And my husband's family, the same. Like they were only married, to each other. And so, and I think for us, very early in our marriage, we had, we still live in the same place we've always lived. I mean, when we first got married, we were kind of in a duplex or an apartment, and then we built our house and been there. But on our street, there were, I can remember 3 couples, young couples like us, and 3 of them got divorced. And it was when they got divorced, it was like, okay, now you have to choose which friend you're going to continue to be friend with. So I hated that. I just absolutely hated that. And I vividly remember saying to my husband, we're not doing that. We are not doing divorce. I don't like how this feels. We're going to figure this out. And so there were times where we had to really figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think that was very early in our marriage. Like, no, you know, this is not what we're going to choose. We're going to really work at that. And I can tell you that I always loved my husband, but there were times that I did not like him.
Oh,
for sure.
That can resonate. My husband said that early on as well. Like, he said, you know, he's a finance manager. He talks to people all the time. And he's like, I asked them for advice, you know, when the couple's been there 25 years more, what's your advice? And the number one thing that he found was that they said divorce was never on the table. So that just wasn't on the table. We're never going to discuss it because it's not an option. So he tried to live, you know, that way. You know, but more to come, you know, about our journey. But for the most part, he tried. And I said, when he made the statement, I said, so that means you're going to work on it then. You know, anything happens, that means you're working on it. And here we are 8 years later, still trying to work.
Well, it never ends. For sure. I think at 45 years, it's not as hard to work on it. But there are times, you know, telling on my husband here a little bit, like he's a carpenter and he can't hear. so can't hear me. It's the tone of my voice. It's a little higher pitched. Maybe you can relate to that. Lower pitch. He can hear, can't hear me. And so that's what I have to work on right now. It's just the compassion. Is there selective hearing here or what? And
probably.
Sometimes I think yes, but
no. See, that's funny because my husband, he can tune out the kids, but he cannot tune out my voice. So he's just like, So he can't do it. He can't do it. So that's so funny though.
So it's work right now. It's definitely work right now, especially when you can't hear me.
That would drive me insane.
I'll be like, do you have your hearing aids in?
Right.
That's our biggest struggle right now. After 45 years.
But that's beautiful. I wish
being able to hear.
Let me think. I can't say, and you know, this will be more for other topics, but Me and my husband, I think we both came into the marriage like eyes kind of wide open, like, hey, it's not gonna be all rosy all the time. We both were divorced, and this is our second marriage. But definitely the ex with the blended family is that's the hardest, because you can't, you can't control other people.
No.
But the kids, I have to say, my son, his kids, they came together beautifully, like everybody just liked each other. Everybody, this is my brother, this is my sister. I was probably the only odd man out. Because I'm the one with structure, and we need to do this, we need to do
Flexibility.
this. Yeah, and my husband's like the teddy bear, where we could just play all day, We don't have to get nothing done, just enjoy life, We tear up the house, we're watching movies, we're just having a great time. Yeah, he's a teddy bear. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Sometimes you guys, you balance each other, it sounds like. As long as you allow for that sometimes.
When I'm not home, yeah.
And then the structure of you wanting the structure, so you have to just balance that.
Yeah, we don't always make it work, but we try. I do find myself, though, being more transparent, with the kids. Because the kids are smart. They know what's going on, even if you don't tell them.
Oh, they do.
So I just let them know, hey, we are trying our best. I said, me and your dad, we did not have a role model. And so we are trying it the best way we can. I said, we want to show you guys something different. So that's what we're trying to do. But we fall short all the time.
Well, and we learn. Just as long as we take that as learning something from those situations that we fall short, not dwell on that.
It's probably
punish ourselves for that falling short. Just learn from it, and communicate about it. It's super important.
Communication, that is a topic that can be a episode by itself. Just thinking about communication, women and men, just, we communicate so completely different. Like women, we want to take the scenic route, The weather's 75, the sun was out, the car was really comfortable. I rode past horses and it was really beautiful. We want to put you in the space that we were feeling while all of this was going on. And my husband's like, direct route, A to B.
Yes.
Don't give me all that extra. What's A to B? Period.
Yeah.
And I'm like, meet me in my scenic route. It's beautiful over here.
Yeah, you're right. My husband and I are like that too. Like,
we're so different.
Nature. I'm a nature girl, and I want to see things. I want to experience things. I'm more adventurous.
That's him. That's my husband. I'm in the house. I don't like bugs. That's who I am. And I was like, I don't understand how we got together.
I don't like bugs.
It's like I don't want to sweat. I don't want to be out there because mosquitoes love me. So I'm the only one that gets bit.
We have that in common. Here we go. Mosquito lovers.
Yes.
That's us.
But so it's crazy, that communication is a big piece. But I found that communication comes up even when you're with your sisterhood,
Oh, for sure.
Because, they may be expressing something. You're thinking something completely different. Nobody talks. So everybody's sitting with their feelings of being upset. What have you, and you don't get anywhere unless somebody brings it up, So I'm the person that brings up stuff.
We don't want to hurt each other, so we don't bring that up, That's in all sorts of things that we avoid. We avoid bringing things up.
Oh my God.
It shifts as you get older.
Me and my husband were definitely conflict avoiders, growing up. It's a like a self-protection type thing,
Could be.
Just growing up with trauma and things like that. So you learn to kind of watch everything to try to keep yourself safe. So,
of course.
So neither one of us like arguments. We don't like any of that stuff. I lean into them now.
Good.
I think it took there's a lot of years of therapy there where, I completely changed who I was because I was kind of a people pleaser.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, this isn't serving me, you know?
I think the majority of women are people pleasers. We just are. It's our nature to want everyone to feel.
Just be happy.
Yeah. Can't that happen? Don't bust my bubble. Can't that happen?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, good.
I was definitely one, I would say, is this life or death kind of thing. So that would be how I would gauge everything.
Okay.
Prior to therapy, you know, I would be like, oh, it's not life or death, whatever. So whatever that somebody yelled at me, or my first husband yelled at me, or, you know, try to belittle me, whatever, it's not life or death. But then when I had my son, I was like, oh no. Nobody's gonna be talking to me crazy in front of my child. They're like, no. So then it was a whole new dynamic, because this passive person is now speaking up. She's advocating for herself. She's gotten her boundaries in check, because I'm like, if my son, you know, I got to teach my son to have healthy boundaries.
Yes, you do.
So I was like, oh no, we're not doing
Interesting.
this. Yeah.
It is interesting. As we
Life
have
just
kids,
takes a journey.
yeah. There's so many times that things switch.
Yes.
You know, when we have kids, when the kids are gone, empty nesters. What am I going to do with myself?
Out now. I want them gone. I love you guys, though. I love you, but I want you to adult. I didn't raise you to be my best friend. I didn't raise you to be my companion. I raised you
there's
with
a
tools
whole
and skill sets.
another episode on raising kids to not be our best friends. Okay, well, let's not get on that one.
Yeah.
Because that one could go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
Write that down.
Yeah.
Another topic.
Parenting. Yeah, no.
Parenting and not friending. How about that? Parenting and friending your children.
Friending. Well, I'm the one they don't like, and I'm okay with it. They're not my BFFs, you know. I have girlfriends, I have other people, not my kids. Like, I wouldn't even play any kind of music around my kids, you know. And my son, of course, been to family. He's like, Mom, you know, I've heard all this music already, you know, because at Dad's house, they're pretty free. And I was like, yeah, but you haven't heard it around me, and we're not at that level yet, you know, kind of thing. Or even watching inappropriate things with my young child.
Okay.
Like,
that makes sense.
I'm kind of just all about trying to protect your kid, you know?
Yeah.
Protect that innocence, you know?
Yes.
So I would tell my son, you know, he was in elementary school. I would say, you know, your kiss is sacred. Your touch is sacred. Nobody deserves. That's not for everybody. Like, you're sacred. And I think we don't tell our boys that, you know?
Probably not. I don't have boys, so I can't say.
I know we tell our girls, but boys just don't hear it, you know? Like, it's not okay to be loose. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah. Something to definitely share with the younger moms, parents, to teach that.
And even the way that we parent, we parent them. I had met a guy. He would love on his daughter. They were twins. He would love on a daughter, but he kind of pushed the son away. And I was like, so the son will, of course, pick fights with the daughter because she's getting the affection. He's not, you know.
That makes sense.
And I was like, why won't you hug your son? They were 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening here?
So goodness. Trying to teach him to be.
I don't know. I think it's his own issues. Yeah.
We could as coaches.
It's so crazy. Yeah. There was a lot there.
We could analyze that.
Yeah, there was a lot there. And too much for me.
Analyze that.
Yeah,
we don't want to get
we can do a lot
into that.
Yeah. So just things to consider. The dynamics of how you parent a girl, how you parent a boy. But I love, and these comments kind of stem from volunteer work that I do with the Father Support Center. So it's all about relationships and how to have healthy relationships. So those are some of the topics that kind of come up, you know. And I tell them, like we're saying here, it takes both people, you know. And it takes 2 people to run a household nowadays. Both have to work, you know.
Yeah.
There's no mama stay at home, dad can pay the bills.
Outside and inside.
Exactly.
They have to be.
And I feel like they both should work outside and inside of the home.
They
should. You know.
Sometimes that doesn't happen, and that leads to difficulties in a marriage. But yeah.
And that's why you're here. So we're going to talk about those kind of things and how to, get over that little bit of hump.
Yeah.
Because there is greatness when you guys are working together. When mom and dad are working together, they see mom cook, they see dad cook, they see mom clean, they see dad clean.
Yeah.
They see both of them go to work. Of course we got different styles.
Sure. Sure.
But there's something to be learned, I think, from both.
There is. And I think just, especially when I was raising my kids, like if I was watching the kids, I'm just being a mom. And sometimes when husbands watch the kids, they have to babysit.
You're like, how's this different? Like, you're not babysitting your kids.
It's
you're parenting.
Yeah. So just things like that. Like doing things in the kitchen or vacuuming the floor or whatever. Oh, I'm helping my wife.
No, this is our house.
You're not
our house.
Helping your wife. You're helping your entire family by helping keep it clean and early or whatever. So it's just so different. And I don't know where that thought process came. That, and I think, maybe? That everything within the home is the woman's responsibility.
Oh my God!
And it's
that happened at a marriage retreat that I was on. The pastor, Mr. K-Son, I love you, and I'm sorry, but the pastor was so tickled. He was like, Wayna, because at that time my name's Sky. He's like, Sister Scott, like, can you stop? Because for women, there is a page of duties that we have in this marriage retreat, right? For men, there was a paragraph. I said, sir, I need some other things listed here. He said, well, men know what to take care of, take care of your family. They know what that means. I said, no. They don't. And I need it spelled out. Because how is it that you have our duties spelled out? I think it was 2 pages, to be honest. And the guy's got like a paragraph.
So it's making me sad.
It made me sad.
Than I am, and that's making me super sad that it could still be that. We're gonna have somebody younger on to share with that's still how it is. I don't
know. This was a religious, this was a marriage retreat at church. And so in certain, arenas, certain churches, that is your role. Like they don't even have women pastors, which I don't understand because women and men can learn from each other. So I say that to say I'm not always welcome in some of those circles because I am going to call out.
Now we talked about politics, so we weren't going to go there. We'll have to be thinking about church. No, we're going to go there.
Yeah, we're going.
It's important to go there, and
that's a healthy conversation.
We just, We might call some of those things out just to support and help you understand.
And the main thing is you're not really alone in how you're thinking, because most women have to work, inside and outside the house a lot of times at the same time. And bless you women who want to only work inside the house. I wish that was my calling. I wish that I could lean into that. But for me, I'm one of those women where it just deflates me. If I've been at home with kids all day, I am sad.
Yeah. Oh, I could get into all of that. I had that in home take care.
That's a lot.
I needed adult conversation.
Yes, that's the main thing. You need somebody to talk to.
I needed adult conversation. Yeah. So I made sure that there were things that I did.
Oh, good.
For that. Specifically for that. Because that could be. I can now, after 2020, I did become, because we were forced to be more of a homebody. Like I'm more content being at home than I've ever been in my entire life.
That's free. Consider the cost of living, nowadays. You better find it in the simple things, I don't mind being at home, but I need my girlfriends. I need my sister time.
For sure.
Because my husband is not a chatty and I like to chat. And sometimes Sometimes the chat is petty, sometimes, or gossipy. I'm human, and I could be better in those areas, But he doesn't want to entertain it all the time. And I'm like, I need somebody to talk this trash with.
That's why we have other women. That we need to be connected.
Well, healthy women is the word that I would lean on.
Yeah. Well,
there's something to be said.
I'm with you on that, because there are those that boundaries. Not that woman.
Yeah, boundaries, and then some of them just don't think they need to be better or change or strive for growing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's hard to see our own issues.
I don't know, because I feel like at this age, somebody has told you, even if you didn't know. Somebody has tried at a certain point.
Yeah, but are we listening?
That's true. That is
not
true.
always.
That's true.
That's on them. That they're that's not really me. That's just them thinking that they don't know. Oh boy, we could go
on and on. And maybe we will later.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll chat again on topics that impact women, because those are the topics I really love.
Love all those topics. So we're going to have to break those down, maybe some, and talk more deeply.
And limit.
Share with us what the topic you would love to chat with us about, or what you'd love us to talk about on our podcast.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Female Voices Life and Loss. We hope today's conversation brought you comfort, insight, and a sense of community. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with others who might need it. Stay connected, stay resilient, and until next time, keep growing and healing.